Sanibonani Bflf, and this is your boy, Ntariyana aka Mr. Soweto Kafela Motsiba, aka Mr. Cool himself. Welcome to Kota and Chill Bflf, welcome to a PSE channel, welcome to a football, and welcome to Vodacom My News. Namhlanje ngamane President ya Strata. Mina namhlanje ngizombiza ke ngegama uzongixolela. Ngama no Kutlwano Andile Mngxitama, ne? Amagama enu nani. Yibo mara but then today we're talking Bflf, Black consciousness, African penism, like nje. Ziyawa nje vandaag. So Kutlwano lam asicale ke lento, yabo. Thank you for being part of a Kota and Chill, supporting like a black culture into njengentwana encane. Yabo. So before we talk about the Bflf, before we talk about the movement ukuthi uyiqaleleni like iyangibhayo ngayo. Ngicela ukubuza le mbulithola kuphi elihle kahle.
No ngalithola as a gift
From
intwana yami yangithumela lona. Ngizoyibuza ukuthi ulithele va.
Oh, because there's a say la ukuthi kunehembe olithola from some president.
No nginesuti yakhona. Ngathola ku Jong Un ndo wase North Korea lo setshwa kakhulu lo phethe ama nuclear. Isho na America yamazi ukuthi hayi yinja vele yegame.
Bathi ngagara. Bathi ngagara. So why akhethe ukuba wena ngapha bani? Like yini special ngawe kuye?
Angithi thina sime on the same side. Students are the same enemy. In the world, America key enemy isebenza ne-Europe and then South Africa mangamla inkinga yethu and mangabheka kuhlangene. That's why even now bangamfuni uPutin kuthaza South Africa and amangamla vele EDA which represent white interests and so we side with the anti-imperialist forces and uJong Un is one of the key figures kulomzabalazo lo.
Yes, good man, ngibona ungikhumbuza abo Steve Biko like sizoba mnandi la. So mawukhuluma ngalezi zinto lezo vele ungithatha ungifake ku BRICS. Yabo?
Yeah.
Ngibonile kokuqala upostile ku Twitter ku BRICS, ngeBRICS bayakwenzani nama comment. Why like khambani ufila kanjani ngeBRICS? Le structure sabo ufila ngathi sosebenzela because abanye abantu bayibona BRICS mara bazi kwenzakalani kahle ngeBRICS.
Yeah, abantu ababhaya bayayizonda iBRICS because uPresident Zuma played a big role kule BRICS process. Vele the world, the way it's organized, world power is still as ngesikhathi se Cold War is the West and the rest. The West led by America, led by Brussels, the European Union. Bafuna ukudominate the whole globe. But continue process of taking our minerals, creating wars. I mean, wonke lama wars as Africa, for instance. And kulama wars, those are the richest countries in minerals. But create a low crisis so that kungabi ne rule of law. And then bafaki bomb, bafaki ama ammunition, but create a gang and then bathathe ama raw minerals. So that is a strategy, say West Valley. And ama leaders wethu who stand up against the West, they always get killed. Mangabheka abo Lumumba, abo Sankara ke yena, Thomas Sankara, kufuni youth, elogama lelo, baligugulisha, Thomas Sankara, and he died, they killed him as it was like 37.
Yes.
Bokuyi leader yase Burkina Faso.
Okay.
Wathatha ipower bekuyi soldier but isoldier alisebenzela abantu. Thomas Sankara, one of the key things that he did was to make sure ukuthengisa ama Mercedes Benz kahulumeni makangena basebenzisa the cheapest car as ministers. Yena bevaya ngebhoni ukuya eSpanini afuthi avaya nange scooter ehola imali ephansi and his point was mele I-political power isebenzele abantu. Simthana kangaka ukuthi Thomas Sankara when we went into the EFF saza ne idea yakhe sibiza the Sankara oath.
Okay.
Leyo idea ithi all politicians, public servants must by law use public services. Kushukuthi if Ramaphosa or Malema efuna ukuya ehosi kumele baze eBhara ngoba iBhara yibo abaye basically running it. But in South Africa today, politicians take our money, they go to the public service, private sector, private hospitals, private schools for their children. And then that is why a public sector, it is neglected because bayazi ukuthi ngeke bona baye lapho when they are sick. So we learn from Thomas Sankara, that's why seasonal idea ye Sankara oath. Sayifaka kwa EFF ngesikhathi sida. Maqeda ukuvala bayikhipha.
Okay, Khotman, uSankara yena ubole yini? Une question engifuna ukuyibuza after.
Yeah. uSankara wabulawa mngani wakhe kahlehle. Ethunyulwe ama French because they were fighting the French imperialism. Ama French ayenza ukuthi kube neguru elona eBurkina Faso bathumela bathenga umngani wakhe ukuthi ambulale.
Yes.
And bayenzeka bangena esemeeting bamdubula la waborder uSankara.
So nakhona into engifuna ukuyibuza awucabanga ukuthi asinango ubaba Jacob Zuma useBhara. Yes bangamngena. Ukwayicabanga ukuthi nangumntana kaJacob Zuma ufuna ku-primary school bangamkidnap.
Well, look, abantu mawi leader mele uyazi ukuthi you are within the people and the people will defend you. That is why, for instance, uma umet Ali ebekhuluma ethi uhlala nabantu and the people are your forest if you are a leader. You can't be safe in the enemy territory. Kanjani? It means that the enemy accepts you and they protect you because you pushing their agenda. If ula elokishini uyi-leader yabantu, abantu baselokishini bazoprotect. Nengane zakho will be protected. Because as we say, the people are like the ocean or the water, and the leader is the fish, and the fish must exist inside the water. So it cannot be that a leader says, "Angeke abantu bakuvotelayo usababona futhi kanjani." It means that you are not their leader. So that argument falls off, does not work. Lama comrade choose to leave a kasi, for instance, when they get into high offices. Bahlale santini, bahlala namangamla. Not only that, nengani zabo nabo themselves kebona. Because we are saying, if you are the one unginikeza a service, why can't you use it? To show that you have confidence that that service is good enough. If it's good enough for you, then it will be good enough for me. But you can't give it to me and not take it yourself. In other words, you're giving me poison, which you are not willing to take. So we must turn this thing around. Imagine if singatabo panyaza ama leaders wetu mage gula aye Bara. Immediately the situation of Bara will change. The standard will go up, services will be improved, nurses will be paid, doctors will be taken care of. Because one of the problems we have is that those key service providers abanakekelo. They are underpaid, they are overworked, they are harassed, and so on. But if our leaders know that when they sick, they're gonna go there, we believe that the standard will be improved and everybody will benefit.
Ne, because don't they show you understand Mara? Ngisafuna ukubuya nangu Nhlanhla la kuyasilwela. Mara bakwazi ukuyombhoma lapha. Pheluleli soyethu lo muntu lo. Yeah, into engishoyo ukuthi uzomahaya lapha eBhara.
Bambhomile vele le.
Atsiyabuya. Ngizokhala lela. Atsiyabuya ndemakabuya.
No, abonhlanhla likes nabo Julius are playing the politics of the spectacle. Creating spectacles, drama. So that abantu babe entertained and abantu bakhulume ngalokho. It's part of basically almost like clickbaiting. They're always creating drama to be in the public eye so that people can talk about them. They're creating these situations even, which don't exist, so that they can be in the front of newspapers.
So utama model kahle kahle model.
Yeah, actually, in South Africa, politics is about acting. Even the parliament has been turned into a theater of acting. But create a situation good bayalwa amongst themselves. Mabaqeda lapha camera angekho hayi bamnandi bahlezi bonke bayaphuza kumnandi laphana thina sicabanga ukuthi labantu bayagura akunagura next bahendlelishwa the same forces basebenzela the same white people are paid by the same forces. So that is why abantu bamnyama eSouth Africa siyavota mara kunashintsho. Why singazibuzi how come how come our situation doesn't change? These people towards the election zobazwa futhi bazokhuluma nge-land expropriation without compensation.
Fact.
Maqeda ukuvotwa leyo nto le bayithatha bayiphonsa le bayaqhubeka bayahola bamnandi impilo yaqhubeka bakhetha lama situations of false wars amongst themselves so that we are also kept entertained. Parliament has become a point of entertainment. Bayagura, bayagwarana laphana, bayathukana, umnandi, umzwili ubani utheni. Yeah, I mean, entertainment is part of how even the Roman Empire kept slaves under check. You create a circus for people to be entertained and they forget about the real questions which must confront them. Of course, not only that, even soccer has been used the same way. Even church has been used the same way.
Yes, sir.
We must not think about what is the real problems in South Africa. And the enemy then also provides us with false solutions. Okwamanje uzobona next year ama-elections are going to be about amakwerekwere. Kuzobuza question ukuthi bahambe or ukuthi bahlale. And the leyo project yokuthi sigcine sesi so big about amakwerekwere, it's sponsored project because asakhuluma ngamangam athathe umhlaba athathe economy athathe everything. Sesizolwela ispani silwela ukusebenza nabantu abaphuma ngaphandle because of course we are hungry and the white system makes sure that yasqathanisa nabo they get employed, we are outside and thesigcina silwa amongst ourselves. Those who hold the economy in South Africa, not even a single person must go to bed hungry. uNkulunkulu usinikeza ama minerals amaningi kakhulu.
Yes.
But you know, like I always make the example, noma sibheke ama news makufika kwendaba zoqoqosho the economy ezomnotho shintshe i-channel sesiyo senze ikhankele laphana.
Yeah, child.
Because we have no relationship with the economy. Makuthiwa i-price ye-gold ingaka mina nawo it's irrelevant to us.
Angina gold must.
Exactly, platinum is irrelevant to us. But South Africa is one of the countries is big. So who gets the profits? Is the white powers, Stellenbosch. Bona abantu kumele silwe nabo masifuna utshintsho South Africa. Not ukuthi silwe amongst ourselves the way it is. But our minds are so destroyed that we can't even think further. We think immediately. Ngilwa nalo engibona ukuthengisa amatamatisi lana, you know, our vision of change is so limited that we are able to see the real problem. But that is all created by the enemy.
Yes, thanks. Because not just South Africa, Africa has the largest minerals, but we produce nothing.
It is true.
Check it Dubai. Dubai is like one mineral. Exactly. But it's well to Zimbabwe with more minerals than them.
Exactly. DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, where uLumumba bambulala naye. Ebezama ukuhlanganisa i-country ukuthi lama minerals ase DRC akwazi ukuserve iAfrica ne country. DRC alone can solve all our problems, including electricity, because of how big oceans, rivers they have there. But minerals, even in all our cell phones, coltan, iphuma DRC. Mari DRC kuhlala kuneguri njalo yini. Why? Because if there's a crisis, then amangamla athatha ama minerals easily. Amangamla faka ibam, ama ammunition ukuthi abantu abanyama bahlala balwa, and then banika le gang this amount of money, then they take the minerals out of the country. So crisis and war is functional to ama interests angaphandle. And makukhona leader ezama ukulungisa izinto bayikhipha bayibulala.
So it's more of divide and conquer.
That thing is real, my brother. It's real, it's big. Even in South Africa. Even now in parliament, see black majority. Sifuna only about 6% to change the constitution. Ama political parties as a parliament, onke makahlangen, is over 80%. Bangakwazi ukuthi bayenze leyo nto. But amangamla ayakwazi ukuthi as divide. That is why we have so many black political parties. That is why when we go to elections, abantu bamnyama bahlangana na 100 political parties. Amangamla na 3 political parties, so 2 EDA, Freedom Front Plans. Phela. And that's why they vote as a bloc. And thina ngapha si voter as fractured groups. Black power to which come from our numerical strength, it is weakened. And amangamla, that's why even next year kungenzeka ukuthi sibe ne president yengamla or a deputy president yengamla. They have done it already. Kuma metros where Julius gives the DA political power, DA gcina seyiphatha. DA party abantu bathatha umhlaba wethu, abantu basifaka kule nkinga sikuyo, abantu abaqhuba i-racism, but i-black political party ngoba ilwa nenye i-black political party iyakwazi ukunikeza i-power to amangama. It's like wena ulwa nebrother yakho ugcine wena uyosebenza nomuntu ongaphandle against your own brother. Yinto enzakalayo.
Ndiyenzeka.
Yeah. Abantu abamnyama, that is why sihlala sikule nkinga. We don't have a deep backbone yokuthi i-black unity is critical. Whatever, we need to know who the enemy is. And we must not allow ourselves to be divided. Okwamanje si too divided and we are weak.
Sure, if I because nakhona ngifuna ukubuza ukuthi because ngiyakuza wena uconscious kakhulu ne. Ngifuna ukubuza what is our biggest problems in South Africa, in Africa at large. But before ngifika lapho ngifuna ukukhuluma ngento esikhuluma common as like black children masihlele khona norekas ukuthi nifuna ukulungisa mara kusamoshekile bathi umuntu wasimoshela kahle kahle ubaba Nelson Mandela uye kukanje nje bathi uya kusengamla uthini.
No, I think that is the wrong way to look at it. uNelson Mandela unikeza amangamla isandla se-friendship, of course at our expense. Now the question that we must ask is not what Mandela did for white people, it's what did white people do in return.
Yeah.
Because if we put it that way, then we can see the problem still remains with white people. They always create abo Mandela baningi. Even Julius uzobe Mandela naye.
Yeah.
Kuzobe kusabe sithi uJulius uye lo kanti ngamla yizo as keep on creating a problem for us, and thina we are unable to look at the real problem. Sigcina silwa nalama problems abo create for us. They creating even now basinikeza uRamaphosa. Ramaphosa has been bought by 1 billion rand. It is known fact. Amangamla anikeza uRamaphosa 1 billion rand ukuthi athengele a conference where he defeated uJacob Zuma. Amangamla uJacob Zuma phela beseza manje. Yeah, beseza manje. Yeah. Amangamla athuka. There's a book written by Robert Renwick. Masinesikhathi ngakhuluma ngayo Robert Renwick.
Asishaye manje.
Uye owabiza abo Julius Malema ngo-2015 eLondon. And Robert Renwick, Lord Robert Renwick, is a key representative of British imperialism. One negotiator eZimbabwe wenza kusho umhlaba ubuyi for abantu. Wabanikeza iLancashire agreement. Waye Namibia athunyule iQueen. Waze South Africa. Uyena watshela uMandela ukuthi nationalization must not work. Wabiza abo Julius ngo-2015 eLondon in a secret meeting. It's a Chatham House. Chatham House meetings are not recorded, and you are not allowed to say what you discuss with them. So in that meeting, that is where Robert Renwick wa anointa uJulius ukuthi uzoba representative yoma interest wabo. And that is where even the idea yokuthi kungavotola iDA came from. And that is where also they attacked Mandela, because you see amangamla anyuso Mandela kakhulu. but he's still a black man. They need to bring him down. And so now they are sending their agent to attack him, to attack his stature, because Amangana can't accept a black saint in the world. So there is an attack on the stature of Nelson Mandela after he having served them. He has served them, there's no question about it. So, but when we look at Mandela, I'm arguing we must not attack him. We must ask, what have white people done to reciprocate the goodness that he has given to them? So that the fight is always focused on white people instead of black people. Because they keep on creating black leaders, make them compromise, make us to hate them. I mean, under apartheid, for instance, Inkatha Freedom Party was armed. Ibubulala abantu la Soweto.
Yeah, facts.
Ibubulala abantu Sebokeng kwamamasaka. And ANC was fighting freedom, Inkatha Freedom Fight. Inkatha Freedom Fighters, Inkatha Freedom Party, sponsored by Amabhunu, was killing black people. ANC was killing EIFP. Instead of killing the sponsors, do you understand?
Yes.
If we take the war to the real enemy, they will stop sponsoring their goons, because it means every time back Borisa udalkwe 1 tina se kaslamangam Borisa 5.
Yeah.
And then they will see ukuthi sponsoring black on black violence does not work.
Yeah.
In consequences for them.
Yes.
That is why our thinking as black consciousness thinkers is that we must remove the thinking about our mnyama to fight amongst themselves. We need to elevate our thinking to the real enemy.
Yes.
Even abantu abaphuma ngaphandle baqashwa ngamangamla le South Africa. Even against the law, because the law is clear that you can't employ an illegal immigrant. But they do. And then Tina, because masibabona besipana kulezi ndawo sixabana nabo iba black on black violence, we are not able to see the real creator of the problems of black people.
Yazovela umkhumbuze uSteve Biko, because kunenye incwadi bengifunda eyasho ukuthi if Steve Biko bekakhona umuntu bekezoba president bekuzoba uye, because nade uyikhuluma ngakhona unobu military, because ngibheka military wing vele MK yabo. So unaloku Steve Biko like unaloku amandla. So ayisifakele amandla ngicela ungitshela what are ama problem esinawo as blacks, as Africa amakhulu amaphi abantu abangakhulumi nawo njena nje la wesingakhozi umuntu uzokutshela ngabo our problem is land leyo siyayazi eyiphenye singayazi.
No, you see, the big problem is now is how power is structured, and particularly political power throughout the African continent. Abantu kumele balungise izinto, kumele bazilungise ngepolitiki, because it is the solution to our problems. Now, what the white system has done has captured politics. And people vote, but they don't know that they are voting for parties which are controlled by the enemy. So until we solve that problem, sizohlala sikuma false solutions, sizohlala sikuma promises which are never fulfilled. Because when these black political parties speak, they speak the truth. They speak about the land question is important, the economy, unemployment, poverty. Lezi zinto affect abantu. But when they get the power to change, they never do. Because they were never instruments for liberation. They are instruments to ukhohlisa abantu. They are instruments to perpetuate the system. Because even now, apartheid they are qhubeka in South Africa. But kuphetha abantu abamnyama. Kanjani? It shows that those who are in power are agents of the same apartheid system as it is nayo. So we need to figure out how we get real power and how do we use it in our interest. As we say, Thomas Sankara has shown in Burkina Faso that you can use political power to change the circumstances about it.
Yes.
Namangamla, I use a political power to, people don't know, even in the 1930s, Namangamla are poor, white poverty. But in 1948, Baleti apartheid made sure that they keep us out of the political system. So, as a white minority, baba majority, a fake, a creative because they excluded us from the political system. They made laws to enrich themselves, to make sure that they all are employed. They make sure that they get good housing, they get good amenities, they get good schools, good hospitals. Through a political process, it was laws. Even our land dispossession, 1913, amangamla aya parliament, shayumthetho othi umhlaba, 87% of the land belonged to them. Through the laws they made in parliament. So political power can be used to solve the problems of the people and must be used. But you need revolutionary politicians who cannot be bought by the enemy so that they can change our situation.
Yeah, okay, but then coming to revolutionary politicians, most of them, they get killed even before they obtain what they're fighting for. Like njengoba Steve Biko, njengoba Mbuyela kuwe. Lemon bekalwela lento lelwela ukuthi let's remove the colonizer, but it's dead. Nalabo khulume ngabo, thought. Maybe now we thought.
So it is true. System esilwanayo is powerful kakhulu. If they don't kill you physically, they kill you mentally. They kill you with shiny things. They give you wealth. They make sure that you don't go against their interests. You are as good as dead even then. If they can't kill you like that through buying you, they'll physically kill you. But we have to maintain the message of revolutionary change because that is the only way that we can change. Ingane zaseSoweto in 1976.
Sure.
Truth ngamadzoni, they confronted the apartheid system. And it is them that made sure Guti 1994 happened. Because 1996 threatened the white establishment, threatened apartheid, throwing into another lokshini, confronting the apartheid system. So we need to know that uma sihlangene, we can make some changes. But we need the idea. See, into another Soweto in 2076, we black power, black consciousness ka Steve Biko, bingenile lokshini kakhulu. Through friend ka Steve Biko yazosebenza la mayixoshwa e-university u-Abraham Tiru wafika la eSoweto wa teach, and then abothethe mashinini enelolo gama lekathethe mashinini
nginethathu yalo.
Exactly. And uyazi intwana eziningi zaseSoweto azimazi uthethe mashinini ngamasibomu. I-government ye-ANC yenze sure ukuthi 1976 abayibizi black power. And abavezi uthi baveza uHector Peterson, the victim instead of the leader.
Fighter.
You see, so uthi Mashinini's name has been erased so that the youth does not get inspired by the leadership. Uthi was 19 at the time, 19 years, but was able to organize that big resistance in Soweto. Even to another Soweto, to another South Africa, you can confront the system through emulating Utieti Mashinini. The system is terrified of that. That is why Utieti Mashinini is removed from popular imagination.
Yeah, so moyo kanje khona manje phela manje ubuye ukhumbule sinama 2000 manje angizodopana ne10 ngikapa amavene. Uyayibona situation kunamapiano utshwala buningi manje bona.
No, I mean part of removing the consciousness, revolutionary consciousness is creating these other things. Njengawo amapiano, utshwala, ubumnandi. Ubumnandi benza show ukuthi siyakhohlwa ukuthi what is the problem? Siyakhohlwa ukuthi how do we fight the system? And ubumnandi also enrich the same system because whatever we buy is sold by the system. So the system generates profits out of our so-called entertainment. So obudaki kufuneka sime kancane. We need to pause and reflect on our real situation. Even the church is part of abazali manje ke bona bayesontweni. Kulapha khona bayenza ukuthi they must forget and they must think about life, good life in heaven. Chief, if your life is bad here, I guarantee you it will be worse
in heaven.
Because uNkulunkulu uzokubuza ukuthi ngakunikeza ingqondo ukuthi ucabange, ngakunikeza ama minerals ukuthi uphile kahle, what did you do with those things? Because God gave us. We don't have to suffer. We have so much wealth, but sikwagi. And abantu abayiqhogile siyabazi ngabobani. Siyabazi ukuthi bahlala kuwo. How come we don't organize ourselves and take back the things that God gave us? That is the biggest sin, in fact, that we are failing to correct the sin of dispossession, the sin of oppression, the sin of economic exclusion, which is created by the enemy, which come from Europe. Because our problems, qale kahle ngo-1652 kwakufika la mangamla la e-Africa. Sisemalokishini, sisezikota camp. Because of them, they made sure that they take all the best part of everything which God gave us. And Tina, we have naturalized it. It's fine, for instance, every Monday, every weekday, singenama training, sigcwele singaka, siyemangamleni, sospan. And then every evening, sigcwele ma training, siyenza bophuma ngena, siyaphushana laphana, sizama lokishini sizolala. Silala kancane nakhona because abanye abantu ngaboma 4-3 mele bavukile ukuthi babuyele futhi emangamleni. I-system ecreated ngamangamla to exclude us so that they can live the best life. Amangamla have created heaven on earth. They've created heaven on earth. I mean, even now, if you go, we are restaurant, if you Amangamla ahlezi laphana, asevwa yithi. Wona ayadla kumnandi because they've created heaven on earth out of two things: our dispossession, taking away our wealth, our minerals, our land, and making us workers. Umuntu omnyama ufuna umsebenzi.
Waya aka-create umsebenzi uTaki.
Aka-create umsebenzi and akacabanga ukuthi but wait. Ama minerals belong uNkulunkulu wasinikeze thina. How come we don't benefit? Mawuya Dubai, laba countries, oil countries, ama citizen aphila kahle kakhulu because they benefit directly from the oil. Mawuya Dubai, you can't make own 51% of the business as an outsider. Mele 51% ibe abantu bahlala khona, when as an outsider you can only have 49%. Even in South Africa, if besingayicabanga kanjalo, abantu abasemalokishini laba phethe ama mini shops, ama spaza shops, baphuma ngaphandle. And nalo system creative leyo. Ukuthi they killed our economic ownership of ama spaza shop emalokishini. Baleta ama malls. So we don't own spaza shops, we don't own the malls, but they are in our townships. We have to have a policy that says, wait, if you're on the township, 51% ownership belong to the township people. Even kuspaza shop, mele 51% ibe abantu baselokishini, wona phuma ngaphandle 49%. Even in mall, we must go there and audit ama shops la. 51% must belong to abantu baselokishini, and then nina abaphuma ngaphandle 49%. That is the only way we can turn the thing around and make sure that we benefit and we don't just become consumers. Mele silwele economic freedom even at township level, but singalwi nje namakwerekwere maspaza shop, sule namalona ama mall as well, ama banks. If a bank is in the township, mele yazi ukuthi 51% we must own it.
So, you must focus more on capitalism.
On the economy.
On the economy, ukuthi yonke into around la.
Yonke into around.
Because bakhona bodeka abaneziphaza mara ziyakhala like abathuli support abantu baya apply lama invite abantu baya apply. Abantu baya apply kunentwana ene brilliant idea manje. Mara akazi ukuthi ayenzeni. Kunomunye umuntu ufuna ukuba ne business mara ufuna ukuthatha libeke ku international level. Akazi ayenzeni.
But that's the thing. Mangikhuluma ngamangamla how they got out of poverty. Bebe supportwa uhulumeni. I mean, you know, apartheid government created the land bank among others. Bebe nikeza amangamla imali ukuthi bakwazi ukulima. Ngeke ulime ngaphandle kwemali. That's why even today in the World Trade Organization, the biggest fight is around subsidies for agriculture. Ngeke unginikeze nje umhlaba unganginikezi subsidy unganginikezi support. Amangamla under apartheid, even before apartheid, they created a land bank which gave them cheap credit to make sure that they are successful. And then even Kobanama, what they call corporations, where Maukatukchala, Bayafik, Bazotata, Bahambise, transportation, Noguti, preserve your product and selling it. All you did was to plow. The state come in and support you. But today, even if you get land, the state does not support you. And then they say, are failing. It is not true.
Yes.
We are not being supported.
Yes.
That is why we are failing.
Yes. Because me, if it okay, it will happen. I want to have something which they call Wall Street in Soweto, whereby every year I do it once a year. Whereby abantwana baseSoweto they gather, sin maybe nahlangana nenze microphone, abanye bahlangana bayenza imoto maybe hamba ngani. Then I get foreign investors to come and invest, because we do have abantu aba creative, but we don't have investors. That's why we have problem ama drugs, because we have sinesikhathi esiningi ezandleni zethu. That's why siphuza kangaka. Mara mongahlala ukukhuluma nalentwana izokujothi emfethi mina ngikwazi ukwenza uyayithola. So abantu abalapho mfethi masingahlangana sikwazi ukuthola ama foreign investors ukuthi ba-invest.
We don't even need foreign investors. We have money now in the state.
Yes, sir.
This government can support and must support our creative ideas. And you know, like talking about brilliant black children, most of them are the most brilliant.
Yes.
You know why? Because a brilliant kid can see ngizogcina ngifana no sis banibani or ubra banibani nakuphuma university akana spani or ispana sebenzayo asibasizi kubo. So the kid can see ahead, and then as a result abe despondent, abona ukuthi akusizi, there's no point in all of this, and then they take flight. And taking flight means that they're going into drugs because they can see there's no future. We must create the future for our children so that they know when I work hard, there will be rewards. I will be able to be successful. Unless we do that, we're going to have the same problem where the most brilliant children end up with nyaope.
And one of the most successful people in South Africa, in the hood, most of the time are gangsters. Because I was creating a school about focus emalini. Laba banama honors isicasha bona thina singaqedanga isikole.
That is true. The whole system, it created that dynamic as well. And we also know ukuthi a crime will only create a small layer which will be successful. The majority will end up in jail, they end up dead, and so on. So that route is a self-defeating route, but it's the only route available to us. Elokishini masibona abantu aba successful, abantu vela baphandayo.
Yazi bathina abantu abaphandayo asitshontshe siya repossessa. Sithathela belungu lento abathatheleyo.
Which I subscribe to.
Yeah, nami ngiyavumelana nani bafethu. I'll repossess. Hayi sigeleni kubo.
Yeah, no, they don't give us any other option. But it is a very risky option, and it's an option which will never get us out of the poverty.
Sure.
Only a few can succeed in that way. So it is a dead end. We need a program to fundamentally change the situation of our people. In fact, we should be saying, Ama township mela apele. In other words, no, the way we live in townships, small houses, and we're put there by the white system, we should be saying, when suknikeza majarata itri from here, now majarata itri should create a big house. Abanye, we're going to build you proper houses elsewhere, so that we end the apartheid created reality of township life. You see, a township was created for cheap labor. Our people are forced into this situation. We did not choose to live in townships. We're forced to live in townships by the white system. And the way the township is created is for cheap labor. And that is why I sing and my train sorting our labor every morning. That is what we are good for. We have to imagine a different, even special design where we end the township the way it is. Because there is enough land, there is enough possibility to create better housing for our people. We must do so.
Ne, because nakhona mokhuluma ngeSoweto kuna sinamatawa yazi Soweto Tower.
Yeah.
Why anga operate enhle kula matawa lawa yazi sokola ngogesi mara sinendawo engayenza ugesi.
You see, electricity problem in South Africa is a self-created crisis. Under Ramaphosa in particular, the load shedding is created so that mina nawe sithi you are tired of Eskom. Amangamla makethi yayithenga sithi ngcono vele amangamla ayithathe. Just like they've done with the SAA by changing 25 rand. So 20, I'm telling you. You know, I mean they'll do the same with Eskom. Yeah. They are creating this crisis so that but then by Sebati, no, the private sector will buy Eskom and then will get reliable energy. And Abantu will end up saying, yeah, I think it's saying your Eskom. Ramaphosa think Salaman Prawak. Bese manje electricity prices are going to go even higher because it will be a private entity. Can't electricity, just like water, must be provided for free for all citizens. And we can because it's cold. It pump up freely. You know, people don't know. Uguti amakampani amangamla sneakers electricity are created, paid for by Eskom. The coal belongs to the people because it's God given. So amangamla come to Eskom, they take money for Eskom, they create the mine, which then mine the coal, which is free, and then they sell to us. Money, I'm saying to you, the mine is created by money from the people. The coal is also free because it's God given. But lama white companies, ayezimali ngaloko, take money from Eskom, create a mine, then sell the coal to Eskom. And the prices, some of them are 40 years in advance. So by busy prepaid, they get paid for the coal they are still going to mine. The mines themselves are paid for to be able to sink and get the coal. So imali to yongela mine nongela coal away. So that's why the city electricity must be free.
Vele.
Because the mine is ours, the coal is God given. Who manufacture coal? No one. You just go underground and take a coal. So God gave us those things, but they were taken from us. And our politicians are making sure that those who took these things from us continue to benefit.
So judging to what you say before sibuyela ku BRICS futhi. Mfona ushothi othi kahle abelungu nje bona bana fokola into abayiphethe iphepha nje lele siyibiza imali.
It's like yes, but even ama title deed. It's like ngithathi idladla lakho bese ngizibhalela i-title deed ngithi is mine. That is what the title deed. That's what it is. They took our land and they wrote title deeds for themselves. Those are fake documents. Yeah, those are unfortunate. We must not accept that. We must say the land belongs to black people and the land must be returned to us.
Ne, mara before bafethu kuleli land anikele notshwala cause Ntariyana nokutawo. La bada ngayolwa nomuntu ophethe ipapalazi man. Athi sibuyele ku BRICS siyabuya vele ku youth. So judging to your own knowledge and the point of view, ka ukuthi BRICS yaspanela izospanela.
Yeah, right now in terms of the global balance of forces, BRICS provides the best chance for us to free ourselves, to control our economy, to be out of the control and power of America and the European Union. BRICS provides a way out for Africa, way out for the global south, basically, Latin America. Lama country la kade cindezelo sonke lesikhathi. BRICS isinikeza a way out. That is why today the American dollar is under serious threat because we control the world through the dollar, which is just a paper which stamped by Americans. So if we move away from the dollar and use a currency which say it's a BRICS currency, it will give us so much power. The Americans will be out of the global economic system and that will give us freedom. But they are not going to allow it.
Why?
Because that means that American power is undercut. They killed Gaddafi because Gaddafi said, Africa must have its own currency. Africa must have its own central bank. That would have given Africa so much power. And the Americans, they said, Mngxitama must go. Because uvusi Africa and if you create a parallel system of global financial system, which is going to undercut our dollar and our power as a consequence. Just like Saddam, Bamburalel, the same thing. They kill you, these people, when you want to move away from the dollar. But the BRICS process, because it is China, it is Russia, it's India, it's Brazil, these are fairly significant countries. They can't kill them. They can't kill their leaders. So that gives us a real chance to control our economies.
So thina intwana ezikade ezine-podcast yabo siyaziphandela ezinye ezinamabhizinisi washo amateki ezinye zithengisa lezi i-BRICS mayengaphasi uyasho ukuthi siyoba mnandi.
BRICS will make sure that money circulate amongst us, more money. But you need a government ezonakekela abantu. Because even now there is money in South Africa, but that money does not come to the township, does not come to you. Because our government makes sure ukuthi imali ihamba namangama. I mean, our IDC, there's a lot of money there. Leyo mali ayizi kuthina abantu. So we need a government that is able to talk to you like this and say, what do you need? How do we support you? Ibe government yabantu, which speak to the people and resides amongst the people. That is the only way we can get out of this economic exclusion.
So mina as a youth is kunomuntu interested maybe ufuna ukuthi i-BRICS iphase. How can we assist thina as a youth for ukuthi i-BRICS iphase?
We must follow the BRICS process, ama-meeting wayo, but also we must agitate. Like Ramaphosa manje akafuni uPutin as South Africa because amangamla akamfuni uPutin. We as the youth should stand up and say, Putin is our friend. Putin, come to South Africa, we will protect you. Putin, you are welcome here. So that we strengthen our relationships in Russia and we strengthen BRICS itself. So the youth must be very aware and must understand kuqhubekani. Youth, for instance, should be involved in this debate. Should Putin come to South Africa or not? Because ETA has gone to court. ETA is very clear. Ayifuni umuntu ozosebenza nabodaki. Ayifuni umuntu ozosiza abodaki. Abamfuni uPutin in South Africa. That is why they went to court. And our courts in South Africa are controlled by the same white thinking. Even if it's a black judge. Lo judge leyo.
Une-boss.
La ngaphakathi engqondweni kunengamla controller i-thinking yakhe. And that's why ETA controls South Africa through the court system. And manje baye by court bathi akafuneka azwakale la eSouth Africa uPutin. Kanti thina as black people and as the youth must be very vocal about Putin is welcome, Putin will be protected, and we discuss how we can do all that.
So when because manje masikhuluma kane sikhuluma shala ngedle platform enkulu esowetho lene. So sicela sibekele in details. Amapha ama-benefits masingamvumela uPutin iwine ne-BRICS esizowathola. Before ngithi I stand with Putin, ngazi ukuthi your benefits. Aningathi I stand kanti angazi.
Yeah, the biggest benefit is economic control. Khona manje economy yethu is controlled by amabhunu ase-Stellenbosch. Mawungabheka are linked up ne-West, Brussels, the United Kingdom and America. Economy yethu, wealth yethu mayiphuma la iya lapho iya kulezo zindawo. So BRICS is a parallel system where it says the wealth must reside amongst us. So if we get the BRICS process right and we move away from the dollar, we de-link from the Western control of the economy. Our economy will be in our hands. But you then need a government which is serious about making sure that the benefits come to the people. So we have a number of challenges. We must defend BRICS. We must change our government, make it a government of the people. Right now it isn't. I mean, for instance, in Joburg, you know the Johannesburg Stock Exchange is right here in Joburg. And that is where 80% of the wealth is located. What is the Johannesburg Stock Exchange doing to support abantu baseSoweto? For instance, if we're the government of the people, it should be agitating to the Johannesburg Stock Exchange what is the share of the wealth that goes directly to Soweto. Because that money is just held there by very greedy individuals. It is not being shared. But a government of the people will be raising those questions and agitating and making laws. We should be saying the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, you are in Johannesburg. The law says you must share your wealth, 30% must go to Soweto. That is the law that we make, and they must oblige.
So nakhona phela umuntu angeke umthembe singamthemba uPutin because ufuna ukuthola lento afuna ukuyithola phela ubuye ukhumbule Russia is a superpower country, even China, and those people are dictators. Mabangayithola lento abayitholile bese basijikele la nothini.
You see, that is no, that is true. You must not trust anyone. Anyone, but we must look at the track record here. China never colonized Africa. Russia never colonized Africa. In Russia, yona sneakers ibam lesikhathi kulwiwe. And ya train abo Christian yabanikeza ama AK47 ukuthi sigure namangama. So we have a track record ne naloma countries lawo. Just like China support EPAC, support EPAC banikeza Scorpion. So ukuthi bazolwa namangama in South Africa. So we have a track record of them working with us against a common enemy. And today, they are facing the same enemy and they need us. So, but it is true, they have their own interests. So, our government must be able to protect our interests. Even when we deal with them, Russia or China, we must be able to say, no, chief, you can't take this. The relationship must be equal, must be for equal benefit. But you need a strong government, so that when we negotiate with whomever, we put the interests of the country first. But if you have puppets, they're just going to be bribed, they sell the country for nothing.
Because when you're talking about puppets, I remember your Twitter, where you said South Africans must be suspended in the BRICS committee because we are more like puppets.
It is true.
Why
we are
so?
weakening BRICS. I mean, in South Africa, we are saying we're going to arrest Putin Magafigala. Kanjan, but we are members of BRICS. Instead of protecting the BRICS process and BRICS leaders and saying they are welcome here, our courts must be suspended. They can't get involved in a global political system which we are involved in as a country. Show political will, political power, political determination to protect our friends, to protect processes which are there to liberate us. But here, no. It take Putin to court. Our stupid board puppet court says Putin must be arrested, and the ANC is shivering because it is now supposed to arrest Putin. They should put their foot down and say, this is a global political system. It is outside of the purview and control of our local courts. Putin is our friend and our comrade in a big global war. He's protected and he's welcomed. That is a political decision that must be made.
Must be taken. Because namanje Julius Zuma, he's in Russia. Ngapho Ramaphosa wamtshela ukuthi abuphu Putin angeke icause conflict lo muntu makabuya ngapha.
That is why bamkhipha ngithi umsholozi. Umsholozi phela if bekhona manje kuphethe yena uPutin ebezofika la.
Ngabe la.
Ngebe ingekho yonke lento le. Ebezeshaya ama courts. You know, like when Zuma was involved, Omar Bashir of the Sudan came to South Africa. And yafuneka naye just like Putin, the ICC. Ama courts make a decision that makaboshwe ela eSouth Africa. Umsholozi wamfaka ngezinye indlela wamkhipha.
Ezinye izintswembu.
Yeah, wamkhipha wamprotect. But he had to use other means, also showing a weakness. Kanti he should have been able to say, no, we are not going to be the bulldogs of Western imperialism to harass their enemies. Their enemies are not our enemies. We choose who our enemies are, and we choose our friends. These are our friends, and we'll protect them. Period.
Yes, because we can choose our own enemies. But don't forget, we have white people who choose enemies for us. We are going to say that is support people. Because Uzuma, it's clear. It's clear. Uzuma side and Russia, guys. It's like they are debate, they are research. It's clear. So, sorry. Ramaphosa yena ne. Akakwazi ukusayida no Putin because usadonsa njengoba ushelo ukuthi ama puppet.
As South Africans, we voted for Ramaphosa.
Mina bengekho.
Okay, good. At least now we can say we didn't vote for Ramaphosa.
Yeah.
But Ramaphosa, you know, even the ANC, iyangixaka. Ingamenza kanjani president after Americana? Where Ramaphosa made sure 35 black people are killed for just asking for a wage, for a living wage. Abasebenzi base mine Americana bebebhikisha befuna uholo ukuthi likhuphuke. Ramaphosa wathi akuthunyelwa amaphoyisa adile naye. Uye
akusabantu abamphethe.
No, Ramaphosa wrote a letter.
Uye straight
to the, and you know why? Ramaphosa on a 12% shares kulomini the mine abasebenzi bebelwa nayo. On a 12% shares. So bamthumela ke ukuthi no Ramaphosa write to the government, tell them wabhala incwadi Ramaphosa wabhalela the minister of police ukuthi he must take concomitant action against those workers. Ele ngempela amaphoyisa adubula abantu.
So ungitshela ukuthi uRamaphosa la khona unegazi labantu abamnyama.
Eliningi kabi. And it is clear ukuthi Lonmin is his company. Lonmin asked him to protect it against black people. Ramaphosa put his influence in the government. Wathi cala nisidile nalabantu. Ngempela badila nabo.
Senyasola. What if ANC belong eAmerica?
Ngasho kanjalo.
Yes, because manje naku silwela ukuthi khathwe ke dollar sekenzakala kanje.
No, it is true. I mean, it is controlled by America and it is controlled by the United Kingdom and Brussels. It's controlled by the West. Uhulumeni wethu asihulumeni wethu. Uhulumeni wamabhunu and abantu abamnyama. Ramaphosa multi-millionaire. They are well covered. And not only that, why will Amabhunu put 1 billion rand by Nikez Ramaphosa ukuthi contest my elections for ANC?
Oh.
It is a clear case. It is a clear case. Yokuthi amangamla umuntu wabo lo. And they did that ngalesikhathi uZuma eCity. The land must be returned, the economy must be returned, free education must happen. But amangamla no. uZuma must be removed. Ramaphosa must come and protect us. And that's why uZuma must fall. And ubheka bobani bebelapho uZuma must fall. About Julius Malema, about DA, almost all opposition political parties. Bebesebenza lamangamla, bethunywa ngamangamla, besponsora amangamla ukuthi uZuma must fall so that the white agenda can emerge. And that's what's happened. We have now Ramaphosa. We have the white agenda. Exactly what they wanted by removing Zuma.
So you mean Zuma was the way? Or Zuma is still the way?
Uzuma, when he started, ebesebenza ngalendlela ye-ANC.
Yeah.
But the last 5 years, washintsha. Wakhumbula ubudaki bakhe. Wakhumbula ukuthi kumele asebenzele abantu. Wahlangana namaguptas. Abantu aba-understand ukuthi uZuma namagupta bahlangane kanjani ukuthi basebenzele uchintsho. Ama-Guptas wanted in the economy, but amangamla bengafuni. And so ama-Guptas said, no, they will support abodaki ukuthi kudefeatwe lezi ngamla so that nabo bakwazi ukubenefita. So ama-Guptas could only benefit if thina si-benefita in the economy. So that is why they supported radical economic transformation, basupport uZuma. Because amangamla avalile ku-economy, abakuvumeli. Ama-Guptas babanikeza nje 5% supply yase-Eskom. But because of that 5%, amangamla athi no. These guys are dangerous, they must go. And Zuma must go. And we must change this whole system. Sibuyisele abantu bethu. Spart. Yana uLord Robin Renwick lo wa hosta uJulius Malema in London. He wrote a book about South Africa. Uyabhala laphan ukuthi bebona as the West, they were under pressure and bebethuke kakhulu ngalesikhathi kuzoba nama elections we-ANC where uZuma becontesta uRamaphosa, because if uZuma had won, their interest would have been in jeopardy. Uyabhala incwadini ubhala straight, and then he thanks the opposition parties nalabo ababethatha ama-campaign against uZuma. Uyabathenga ukuthi you've saved us basically. So removing Zuma saved the white interest and at our expense.
So let's do sikhuluma ngaye lezi ukuthi ulala nabantwana bebazenza ushayine imali yasenkandla phela naye ukuthi manje
Well, imali yasenkandla, this is the thing. No, okay, I think I wouldn't have done it myself. But you know, mangabheka inkandla, only 7 million is the amount of money which is liable to pay back. The other money is money which the state provides to upgrade presidential homes. Even Umbeki could chitanga 600 million for his own home for upgrading. Umandela, same. Who declared same. So the state does provide you with lots of money as a state president to upgrade your home. So Uzuma benefited through that process. But of course, it doesn't look good. Of course, I mean, in Nkandla, the people are poor, they live in bad housing. He should have thought a little bit about how to create proper housing for everyone around there. And then, Besizo judge it differently.
Yeah.
But he looked after himself first. And that is the only criticism that I would have. But he had the vision for the good of all of us. I-radical economic transformation, the mining charter, ephume kuZuma, nomsebenzizwane. Ibithi, 30% of the mines must be given to black people in the next year. Should mean now everybody would have had shares in the mines as we speak.
Why the person is 12 abangani babo or abantwana bakubo? Angimthembi umuntu mina.
No. When they say 30%, it was clear that of that 30%, 15% is for people who live in the mining areas. The 30% is for us national. We should be able to claim that money as citizens of the country. There are many countries which do give people directly money. For instance, Alaska. But annually they get a dividend as citizens, a dividend into your bank account. Your oil Alaska. There are other few countries that do the same. Just like the Arab countries allowed to buy is. I'm a citizen benefit directly from the oil revenue. They get money, they get housing, they get good schools, they get good hospitals. I mean, and as we say, if you want to go and make business in Dubai, you can only own 49%. Abantu abaningi base Dubai, they own businesses where they are not involved. But because of citizens, if I want to make a business there, I must get the Dubai person. And then they get the dividend annually for free. Bashele makhaya. Ama business ayaqhuba, ayenza imali, baya benefit.
Bafethu siyenzeni because kunama foreign companies amaningi lesa.
Imagine.
Awishaya rede ngeBflf ne uzoyifakela emandleni.
Vele mfethu.
Because ngifuna sibuye lapho, ngifuna singene lapho siyeza before.
Yeah.
Hayi bafethu sesikhulumile yabona manje sesijampela kome elections.
Yeah.
Uyabona? Asithathe sifakele emandleni ngendaba yama elections, mara nca the way breaking down indaba ye BRICS. Ngisazozicabanga. Yabo, ngisazozicabanga nabanye bafethu sicabangeni. If isibona ngathi asisebenzele, asithathe leyo ndlela le, but then judging to what ukhulumana enshoyo, sizovuka bafethu ngawari. Yabo, so now road to elections. Nabo ke. Yabona la ukhulumana ngabhodi. Yabo iSoweto ne ingandlula 2 years ngabonanga ngoti ANC or EFF or yaniyani. Ithi kusondele le ndaba yokuvota ne. Uzazibona zilandela nikipa into engikhathaza ukugcina ukuthi nifana nabantu besonto man. One shayabo magogo ozanikithi heron.
Yeah.
Nilanda abantu abakhathela obvious magogo ayikho into azoyenza. Uzavumelana lento ishoyo.
Yeah. No, it is true. Ama-election i-ritual enzakayo every 4 years for politicians to get into power and to perpetuate their interests. It's got nothing to do nabantu kahlele. Ama-elections are rigged. That's the one thing. Rigged, literally rigged by money. You know, in the last elections, EFF spent about 500 million rand. And the ANC, I think, about 800 million. It's just like it, DA spent about 600 million. Where does that money come from? That money comes from white power, which sponsors these political parties. And to make sure that if you don't have money, you are not able to participate. Because, as we say, you'll see kuzoba rate yonke down. And that basically is, hype you to vote for the parties that you see every day. It is part of the psychological war that they use as part of branding to dull your thinking so that you vote for them. And after voting for them, they go away. They maintain the interests of those that give them the power. So this is a game, basically. My elections is just a game.
Some artists sonke mos.
Yeah.
Why is school? That's when ingoma nani. Nizongizolibhuka ne. Wena Malema Ramoshwana shayela inapha. No into yowayo.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, it's the art of politics, and it has become a highly sophisticated process of hypnotizing people. People get hypnotized into voting for these parties. You suspend your criticism, your thinking. No, somebody say, do you see these people work na belungu uthatha amavote wakho anikeza iDA uzophinda abanikeze uzotokusala ngivote leEFF. So you just deal with non-thinking commitment to your leader. That is how the hypnotizing process works.
Yeah, because vele baba ngathi uzovotela into eyibonayo nomntana omncane manje umncane EFF kudlala ayibona uyayibona le ndaba.
Yeah, no, they've done very well in terms of the whole marketing process. This is marketing. This is like advertising. Ama advert abantu bathenga ama product out of advertising. Ama advertisers knows ukuthi once we sell you adverts all the time, you end up mongene store uyakule product. Le advertiser kakhulu.
Hayi man nakhona why bangathathi le mali leba invest into land like manje edrobheni kubhomile ngithi ubonile abana manzi abana gesi eliphi politician olibona solve le nto leya.
No, the money is there for marketing. The money is not there to solve your problems. The money is there to make sure that you vote again in the next elections.
Hayi asithi ke
kuzala lo game le.
Hayi manje ezinto ebhlungu yini ubone labantwana abafaka ama board lawo nalabo bangena ngama fly endlini yazi bazokutshela ukuthi kitsa mali bathu ba political party eso hayi ngwana khawutlo thola umsebenzi naye akasebenzi leyo muntu ongena ngalawo ma pamphlet la bathu uzobhalisela abantwana ukuthi abasebenzi akasebenzi mawulandela ivolunteer.
You see my brother, this is a very evil system. Leyo ngani leyo bazonikeza something to buy bread for those times that they volunteer.
Abaholi
no. No, it is true. No, it's true, but also the promise. So what the political system does, it makes you poor, it makes you hungry. Then it says, we will help you, but you must do these things. Yeah. So Abantu basically, we can say that they've been terrorized by hunger and exclusion to become servants of the political parties. Bayazinangela ukuthi mhlambe something will happen. Also they'll promise you, no, after my election you'll get jobs. And then you also says, yeah, ngizothola isipani. No indaba okushasha, ipolitics is ukushasha.
Akunamuntu osishasha njengani. Yazi ngiyambona noJesu ne, awenza kancane ukunani. Yama politician anamanga. You
abo mashaya 99 professional bo mashaya.
Ngiyazikhuluma ngama ANC ngama oneyakhe ngasikhuluma ngeyakho manje.
Yeah.
Wena izinto ezenza different. Because now ufana ninto eyiwani.
You see that the way we appear, it might be, even the way we talk, it might be like that. But we are a movement that is committed to a clear ideological project, black consciousness. That's why I see the Black First. Our commitment is to put black people first in their country, where they are last right now. Right? And the reason why no white person will give us money is because they know that we mean this. Does not mean they have not tried to give us money to bribe us. They have, and we've said no. But it has put us in a very disadvantaged position, where we don't have enough resources to participate in a process which requires so much money.
Sure.
But Tina Singati, you have to look at how we have conducted ourselves. Mina ngaxoshwa because EFF, because they wanted to sell out. They wanted to go and give abelungu i-commitment yokuthi abawufuna umhlaba o-productive bafuna umhlaba o-unproductive. That's what happened. They went to meet abelungu eStellenbosch uJulius wathi he will not expropriate land which is productive. He want unproductive land. Umhlaba useless.
Yabona manje, yabona.
So Tina, we are clear. And that is why true revolutionaries are either killed or are marginalized. We are being marginalized in this country. We are being demonized because also we have taken positions which are pro-black. We supported the Guptas in the fight against the Stellenbosch mafia. We supported Zuma against the same Stellenbosch mafia. And that is why we are marginalized today. So we will have to be judged on our consistency up to now, where we said we stand on the side of black people irrespective of consequences to ourselves and our movement.
Because the question there got Julius being for no goes buzela yona manje ngithi ngokhambise ngakhona enami. But then awungitshele wena eyakiphathi imelani izoyenzani izo-change chance ya-campaign so thina in marketing izoyenzani like yini into different ngayo izosenzelani maba ngathi manje ngivote ngiyibone ngivotele yona kumele ngaziwayo ngivotele.
Yeah, no, firstly we want the economy to come back to black people, and that is why my example ngwenzile thina asifuni city economic freedom for jobs. No, we want economic freedom for ownership. Abantu abamnyama bonke South Africa kumele babe direct shareholders in the South African economy, so that at the end of a financial year we get a dividend from the gold, from the platinum, from all the minerals which are there. Part of that money must then go to social services, and that is why we are saying all public service servants must use public services. That will make sure ukuthi igala zethu ama ibhedlela zethu are upgraded. So we are putting the interests of the people first, and in indaba yomhlaba we are not going to compromise on it. The land must come back to our people, but just don't give us land, give us support as well. Just like how white people everywhere on earth, they are supporting agriculture through state subsidies. We'll do the same here, so that black people can control their land, they can control the economy. Abantu bamnyama kumelanga sibe abasebenzi, kumele sibe ngama-owner. We want to turn black people away from being workers to becoming owners. And it can be done with a strong political will.
So sikuthembe kanjani because bonke bakhuluma like yazi bonke before bathola into abazoyithola bakhuluma kanje. So wena sokuthemba kanjani? What if namaqedwe ukuthola uzojikela?
No, ngeke ngimjikele.
Asazi umuntu phela na njengoba sisho ukuthi umuntu akathembeki.
No, but I mean, if it was that case, I would have long compromised, taken the position that gives me greatest comfort. I haven't done so because I'm an idealist and I believe it is possible to create heaven on earth if only a few of us with political power can get into that political power and use it for the interests of our people. My hope is that before I die, we can reach that point where siyaqala siyenza heaven on earth on the basis of the wealth that God has given us. That is my view, that is my vision, that is my dream, that we can create heaven on earth because God has given us that heaven. But white people have taken it away from us and created hell. Black people live in hell. That is why every year we kill 20,000 of ourselves. Siyabulalana siyabantu because of isimo esithola sikuso. Precisely because of how we live as black people, exclusion, alienation, lack of hope, and then we create the violence amongst ourselves. Siyakwazana, siyabulana.
Siyapoizinana. So awungitshele lento esibona kumalimi ukuthi ulwele land wena uyayilwela vele or udlala ngathi angithi uya act.
Now that is the king actor. Melathole a big Hollywood role.
So kahle akayilweli udlala ngathi
no, that is not going to happen. He's not serious about that thing. He's using it for political reasons. Uzobona futhi towards elections next year bazoqala bakhuluma ngeland. Kwamanje kukhulunywa ngeland. Bayekile even in parliament endaba yeland. Bayikhohliwe asinto abayicabangayo. But when they now think about how to ukushaya abantu towards the elections, bazoyiraise again. And abantu bakithi, because also short memories and T-shirts and bombardment by advertising at the time of the elections, you can't even think straight because back bombard and vote for us, vote for us, vote for us. You're seeing them all over. You end up going into that booth and voting for them.
So, because man, Bflf kahle thina la Soweto saza ama political party few lawo nalawo. Uzosenzela thina zamasowetheni ke because izokuvotela mosichazile nakhona.
Yeah.
Yini into ozosenzela thina zamasowetheni?
You see, Soweto is the biggest township in this country. It is said, for instance, soccer, which is a big thing in Soweto, is neglected. Just that, soccer schools, ama league wentwana encane akasekho. Yeah. Art yase Soweto, all forms of art. Soweto is South Africa. So if we were to get power, we'll make sure that we support the development of Soweto in a very serious way and give opportunities to our people. People will own the economy of Soweto, but not only that, insist that the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, which is right here, not far, has make a big contribution in the Soweto community. Also, Alexander, Ongal Makasi Amakhulu are excluded. Alexander needs serious, reconstruction. Abantu they live like this lapana. Baphila namagundwana namaphela konke. So and it can be changed around. Houses can be built, high-rise buildings can be built there. Our people can be put out of the situation they find themselves. Money is there, but it is in the hands of a minority. Tina, all we have is political power to get that money from the minority. But right now, the minority is buying our politicians. And therefore, that money never gets out of the hands of the minority. We have to change that situation. Get politicians that serve the interests of the people. That's all we can do.
Because nyakuzwa siyakhuluma ngeSoweto nange-Alex. Ekasi lakho bona bayenzelani? Sicale lapho before siyakude. Asicale ekasi lakho yiphi into oyenza ukuthi ekasi lakho balale badlile bathi ukuthi hayi viva comrade.
I am poor, so I don't have
poor?
money. Yeah, I don't have money.
Oh, ewafetan kayo khona.
Yeah, next. Yeah. No, but it is not. Also, we must be very careful. Our politicians, they get money from white people. And then they start doing small things. They say, but this one is providing that and that and that. But that is just to fool you. We don't want our politicians to be Father Christmas. Our presence. We want political power to change our situation without being a charity situation where a politician is running around taking money from VBS sometimes and giving people a tractor here. But when people need 100 tractors, they only get one and people must sleep. No. There is money, as I'm saying. That money is locked up in the economic system and political power must be used to unlock that money for everyone. I cannot become a Father Christmas.
Never.
I'm doing some things. For instance, I donate some monies in some schools and so on. But I can't use that to say I'm changing, because I'm not changing. I give money for schools, for shoes. After 6 months, and I can only give for 100 when we need millions of shoes for all the poor children. And it can be done. Because the money is there, but the money is locked up in the hands of a minority which control our politics.
Because when I research, one of your friends built a school in Kota. Donating a Thafeni. Sometimes not all about government. Some like individual. Was am investors a grand?
No, you see, charity is not going to solve the structural problems that we have. A charity can come. Company as donating in books. I'm already doing that. Supporting some libraries, makasi, and so on. But I can only support 1 or 2 libraries. When we need 50,000 libraries, right, to take out our people from poverty, I'm saying that money is there. What it needs is the politicians who serve the interests of the people to unlock that money and make sure that it flows to the people. It cannot be about charity. Please.
Yeah.
I cannot become a Father Christmas. My politicians are yeah, sengiphethe umkotla laphana, sengikhipha ama-presents, abantu bashaya izandla. And that is why our politicians were to azenza abo Father Christmas. They create poverty for many people, and they become Father Christmas, giving 1 or 2. And the majority are saying, maybe 10 will come. And then they wait forever. So change is a political process. It's a deliberate process. And it's a systemic process where we take everyone out of poverty, not 1 or 2 people.
Mina khotman la ngutshele vali before ngivotela ayikabi ne ngifuna ukubona inkasi lakho bakushayela ibillboard bakushayela izana ngizakuvotela because wonke lama political party maweza la sosizi Soweto sosizi elect nikhohla amakasini asicala wangaqala la ikasi lakho yabo waqala da ba crown as a hero yada mina ngakuvotela because isengine proof ukuthi wenze something manje angazi ukuthi wenza
iproof le ngahamba ngithola imali from Johan Rupert ngambi ekasini lami upgrade a few things imali ka Johan Rupert bese uzongishayela izandla ukuthi no ukhulumani upgrade nani no but for instance we work in Orange Farm we work with the community we say community donate your own money see upgrade indawo yenu and through that we're able to start create izindlela through the people's own effort, not us coming there and becoming Father Christmas. We must end that process of Father Christmas. Because I'm a Father Christmas, because they can build a few things. You see, these are examples of the things that we can do. Support. And as I say, to do those few little things. What we need is political power that is used for the entire community to change the circumstances of the entire society, not a few people here and there.
Because when they say that Bflf was associated with Guptas, you get funding from Guptas. Like uhlangana kanjani nama-Guptas when like I understand as
so buhlangana nama-Guptas ekubeni ama-Guptas abelwa namangama amangama laphethe economy ama-Guptas afuna ukungena kwe-economy and they know that they can't get into the economy without the economy being open for black people and so ama-Guptas took that position to support abodaki abalwa for a change so that bazogova kulo change leyo bakwazi ukuthi bangena angithi like we say Eskom bathole 5% bese bayabavalela ngaphandle so ama-Guptas realize that if they want into the South African economy the economy must be transformed for black people and then that is how they will also benefit so kunalento ekhuluma Mao Zedong ethi the enemy of my enemy is my friend if my enemy is there and now ulwa nalo enemy shukuthi sizoba ngabangani even if we have some differences but we will unite against the real big enemy which here is white monopoly capital. Whoever is fighting white monopoly capital is my friend.
So kwatile la ngoba so angitshela njengoba silwela umhlaba kanje ne even the ruling party ulwela wona lo mhlaba now ulwela umhlaba because obviously mavula political party nonke ndlela into walo mhlaba eKenya nizoyilwela niyawina or nisadliwa
mfethu sisadliwa kakhulu because abaningi abathi balolu mhlaba bawulweli bayakhuluma to get votes for our people. There's no seriousness. Ikuphi land expropriation without compensation process. It's a parliament. It's gone nowhere. We are still where we are in 1994. With a land policy ethi mele siwuthenge umhlaba masufuna. Siwuthenge kubangam lamangam asiqhwaga wona. Our politicians have failed and now they are not talking about it. towards the elections, they'll start talking about it. So, land question is like khali to say to our people, you know, khali, we will vote for me. But as soon as we vote, because they are sponsored by people who stole the land, there's no way they're going to give the land back. It's not going to happen.
Because us, like you, like it's fed up. In our when as the politics, as sazingeni. So when I call man nathi khotman ukuthi sokwazi ukuzingena futhi ngabelieve kuwe le platform yase Soweto. Yabo maybe singabelieve ku Bflf.
No, it is true. Our politicians have failed our people too many times. But you know, they know that there's a ritual of my elections where they can raise your interest out of these marketing strategies, where they bombard you with messages and images and make you vote for them. And then thereafter they go out. So it becomes a ritual which comes once in 4 years. But the youth, it is true, most of it is not interested. Because the youth can see, we vote, but there's no change. And I don't blame them. It is true, voting has not brought change for black people. But unfortunately, it is one of the key mechanisms through which we can get power and change things. If we vote the right people into power, and we are saying we're one of the right peoples.
Why?
Because we have sacrificed. We have refused to be quiet when leaders take the wrong turn. We got kicked out of parliament, kicked out of serious money. I mean, you know how much money is there. But because we stand on the side of the truth, we sacrifice that. So we have a track record of sacrificing for the truth. And we believe that if we are in the political system, we can push those black political parties to do the right thing. Mase parliament so batshela ukuthi sapromisa abantu sisonke la lokhu. Let's do the right thing. There's no voice which is the conscience of parliament right now. Wonke umuntu wenza into yakhe. Bayakhohlwa ukuthi bathembisa abantu what, and there's no one who's reminding them. We believe we can become that conscience of the political system. Out of, if you look at our track record, we have already always stood with black people. Mina ngaxoshwa esipanini la bengihola khona imali endlulisa even eParliament because ngadefend uSteve Biko against a white boy ebethuka uSteve Biko.
Waxoshwa kuphi?
Bengisebenzela iFoundation for Human Rights, which is a big funding organization for ama NGO in South Africa. I was the policy advisor in that organization. But kwakhona intwana engamla yabhala ukuthi ithuka uMamphele Ramphele kahlehle nokuthi uSteve Biko ebengeke ahambe nabo Mamphela asibiza ukuthi yena is a black, he can speak for blacks lentona leyo ngiyayazi lentona siphuza nayo vele eCape Town isasekhona
ubani
uJared Sachs
wena
yeah ngayitshela nami ngayikhomba amangamlangena angixoshisa esipanini, but I left that job because I stand on the side of the truth. But no, it is true. Lentwana has no right to insult uMamphele Ramphele, even if Mamphele Ramphele is a sellout, but it's a black person. Therefore, Mangamla must get out of our affairs. We ourselves will do this insulting if there must be an insulting to be done. White people must get out of black affairs, and as a result of that, I lost my job.
So when you tell because now we EFF and Belivar.
I mean that's my burden, my brother. That's my burden. I mean that's the burden of Steve because Steve Biko was killed for the truth. If you stand for the truth, you will suffer for the truth. Steve Biko teaches us ukuthi there is no struggle without casualties. There will be casualties in struggle. We will suffer for our ideas. But we stand firm and we believe if it's not us, there will be others who will come and they will look at what we have stood for and they will push the agenda further. And who knows, maybe they will succeed if we fail.
Because like me personally, guys, I was into, but I'm not into politics anymore. Me, I'm not into politics, I'm not into Christianity, I'm not into spirituality. Me, I'm a black person. As long as you do good for another black person, I stand by your side. Yeah, because if I will say I'm DA, I'm what that's division. That's me turning up my back. Umuntu wami omnyama ngabe nyamswezi because manje my ANC waba ngi-DA ngizokuyekela unjalo.
Yeah.
But umuntu omnyama ngizokusukumisa.
That's the thing. We must maintain our blackness. And if singathatha leyo position, singaya fair
Ngiyenze president ke. Uyabona mos now.
No, that is true. That is why we say black consciousness. If ufika endaweni thola ingamla ilwa nodaki, uyayingena
Nemura.
nishaye lengamla maniqeda uzombuza ukuthi ejoke kanti igoli
Wenzani?
mara first half niyamshaya qa.
If ngeke ngajike enye intwana yami ishawe ingami la ngathi isilive. Hami naye ngishawa umlungu.
Ya bekumele ungakhulumi bekumele umsupport ushaye lengamla.
Ngimenzeni ngaboshwa. Hadlala. Yo, so asikhulume nange media yethu. Ukwayibona lezi zinto abantwana bethu abaziculayo, lezi zinto abazibonayo. Ziyabalimaza nazo. Because masokhuluma in terms of capitalism doyibushwa ngakhona ukuthi imali iphumela ngaphandle. Makuza umuntu ayenza ingoma ngeyeka master siyothenga ini.
No, you see, cultural imperialism. Culture is being weaponized against its own people. Mangabheka ama art forms aswayenzayo, particularly in the music scene. They're all for consumption, for fun, sexualization of the whole thing. Kakhulu nje kuveza indaba zomdavazo. Yeah. Siyaphuza siyadavaza. Into yethu thina nabodala.
Vibe.
And then sisokoliswa umjolo. You know exactly. And our relationship with art is dysfunctional because society is dysfunctional. Our relationship can't work because our society does not work. I mean, marriages don't work because our societies don't work. Our relationship with are deeply structured by irreality. Any reality to manje is short-term fun. Imali manje vele nalo mali is for fun. And if I can't sponsor your slay queening, you are out. You see? And so a culture your consumption, culture of Louis Vuitton, what have you?
Foreign clothes.
Yeah, serious brands are the things that drive black people. And because we have no self-worth, mangifake Louis Vuitton kaningizwa ngathi umuntu. How did we lose our self-worth? Because we lost the land. We lost our personality. We lost the country. We have no relationship with the wealth of our own country. And as a result, we are alienated. No concept by psychology. Umuntu alienated, umuntu delinked from everything. So these shiny little things amangamla sinikeza wona. Ziyasichaza. Khane ngizwa ngegrant if ngifake and mina ngingichomele enye. So it means that there must be others who don't have. Masingaba naso sonke ngeke ukwazi ukuchoma. So it is good that the system maintains
balance.
The imbalance. Yeah, the imbalance. So mina ngifila ngigrant if ngina something which you don't have. But that is how the system operates and perpetuates itself.
Nakhona asizazi thina kahle before basishaya kuma land basishaya nani basishaya ngesiko lethu number 1 basishayela basizazi omunye umntana akazi ithakazelo zakhe umuntu osibelivela kuye like isibelieve izinto zabelungu bese abelungu bazi into zethu.
It is true, and namanje ngiyabona amangamla sekaba masa
ayathwasa
they're taking everything amangamla kusho ukuthi they took the land, now they're taking the culture, they're taking amasiko. Basically we're going to be left with nothing.
Manje asina next like no my umntana sisowethu omncane umbuzo uthi sibani sibongo sakhe asho uthi nje ithakazelo dololo.
You see, we have a lot of work to do, but because we lost the land, we lost everything. You see, even now we sikhuluma nge-English, medium yabo elethwe ngabo vele lana ukusicontrola. Because the economy is white controlled. If you want access to the economy, you must do white things.
and nakhona nje ukuphuma kancane mbuzo why bangayifaki itsotitali kuma language mara kwezi itsotitali like language yasekazi language engahlanganisa umZulu nomXhosa like isikhulume mara sizwane like mangithi show you sine language yethu so ezabantu abamnyama mara si embrace and understand like masingakhuluma isitsotsi noma ngabe ukhuluma ngeEnglish bengizokuzwa like nomunye umuntu omamele mawuthothi umsuthu or umtswana mangithi fede isikhiphani uyangithothi understand that mara si embrace lento leyo.
Well, languages are always created. Language is always evolving. Language is always changing. So ama elements etsotitala must be embraced and brought into the formal language. But kuna ma traditionalists azothi no isiZulu must be like this, isiSotho must be like that. Kanti if Pitori, for instance, it has become a language of its own.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm saying we must recognize it because language is a means of communication. Mangwazi ukuthi mangikhuluma so uyangizwa siyazwana, that is a language and it must be recognized.
And the language is keep a common like akusi language is divided.
Yeah.
Like isiZulu nesiXhosa sesidivided. Like no sesidivided. Mangikhuluma isiZulu uthi awungizwa. Bese songifukumisa ilifu mara mangakhuluma isitsotsi siya understand. Noma singa United States of America ngathi sure ngiyazi udala uyekaslami.
No, it is true because amangam lamake skipper endaweni zethu sizosebenza eGoli. Baskipper from different areas, different languages and they put us together. And that is why umuntu osesiwethu isuthu yasizwa nesiZulu yasizwa naXhosa yas understand as well. Even a little bit of Venda, sometimes even in a song because we are put to stay together. But Steve Biko then says, those tribal identities, they are not important. What is important is our blackness.
Yeah.
Because we are not oppressed because you are Vende, you are Xhosa, you are oppressed because you are black. And so we must use this system of oppression to turn it against itself and use it to unite all of us so that we become a big black bloc. Yes. Which can change our circumstances.
Now, low language, the division now yourself. Because man, it says, abelunga kuna ukuthi lo umlungu omZulu lo into eyi1. So babonile ukuthi saba into eyi1. Siyoba overpower. Asithi lo mZulu, lo mtswana, lo bahlukana.
Yeah. That's why they created the homeland system. Basinikeza different leaders. Uma umXhosa mele uyiTranskei. Matanzima leader yakho, uma umZulu uGachaputhelezi leader yakho. Maumvenda untwanisi kanjalo
labantu bahlakaniphile
yeah
and obvious labantu basmart lo uzuma ku leader yakho angithi manje seniyafo bese mina ngibambani ama leader ngicontroller wona.
That's true.
Yes,
but also because they are a minority abelungu ukusenza ama minority ukusidivide. And that is why now they are using the political system to divide us. Singabile a majority because sasihlangene sonke singabodaki si large majority but bias baqala babes divide ngama tribes manje bayas divide ngama political parties ukuthi sibe small groups bona babe iblock e1 bazokwazi ukuthi control.
Yo hotman lam mfethu yayibeka kahle so asibuyele vye ku Bflf mina ngathi ngizovotela wena ngazi ngabanye yabo ngazi ngabanye EP uspanisana nabo bani kama alliance wakhe abantu asebenzisana nabo.
We are in serious talks manje ne ATM
African Trade Music.
No. African Transformation Movement. Yeah. Babu Zungula. It's represented in Parliament.
Okay.
The Land Party, which is represented in the Western Cape, Moso kulezi ndawo zamanga amlathatha umhlaba wethu. In the Cape Winelands. We believe that we will go to the elections with these two parties forming a three kind of partnership. But as Apo and PAC, because they also said Basapo to be on Osobuk, we believe in the same things more or less. We believe that all of us must be in the same platform. Abantu omnyama bakwazi ukuthola one big thing they can support. We are very willing to work with anyone who says Steve Biko, who says Robert Sobuku.
Yeah, nam I support Steve Biko. Bengincwadi Steve Biko bengifunda lapha asho ukuthi igama lelithi Africa, kuse Africa umuntu beka colonize Africa. Africa is called Al-Kabulan, Kush, and one Tanzania or ini.
Yeah. So that is one of the big debates. Yokutubani onemi continent yethu. A lot of people say the original name Al-Kabulan. Yeah, and then others are saying also Kush, which represent the original civilization. You know, we need to go into that because amangamla abantwana bethu kahle.
Sibayenzile kahle.
Sibayenzile. Udaki was the original person.
Yes.
Sahamba masiya ngapha sahlangana ne-ice nani sa-evolve saba ngamangamba. But not only that, civilization, mathematics, physics, philosophy, all those things originate in Africa because the first universities on earth are in Africa. Ingamla zazofunda la kuthina. Zifunda kuma university abodaki. I mean, mabaqeda labo babuyele Greece. Abo Pythagoras, abo Socrates and all these other big philosophers. They were students of Africa under African leadership, learning mathematics, learning medicine. I mean, for instance, medicine starts from Africa.
Yes.
Imhotep. We are qala modern medicine. Bazoyitshontsha bazenza Hippocratic oath, but the template of modern medicine is African. The template of modern civilization, including going to the moon and all that, is all African. We are the originators of knowledge, of technology, of mathematics and physics, all of those things. But you know, just like in South Africa, singabodagi, singana conception of ownership of the land. Amangamla detached us from our things. The sabers later as theirs. And they become masters of things that originally are from Africa.
Because Matiyabega abo highly salasi. Izinto besiphethe amagoldi ke ngalezo inkathi lezo. Yibo abantu baphethe umnotho. Yibo abantu ababonisa umlungu ukuthi na wena le yinja lehlala ngaphandle ehlala endlini. Lesi isidumbu lomuntu ofila ngizohlala lomuntu ofila. Mara mabayithatha bayifake encwadini. Kuba ngathi abelungu bafundise thina leyo mpilo leyo.
The richest man known, recorded man in history is a black man, Mansa Musa.
Mansa Musa.
Yeah. So that man was so rich. When he moved around, even when he went to Europe, he was making every country want to reach because of the amount of gold that he had. So from the economy to knowledge, Africans are the original founders of those things. But amangamla because akhohlakele.
Ajike nalento wena mongena emakevini uthwele babhalela ama-tribe emakhona bababiza labo abantu labo. Yeah, bababiza abantu mara kunegama le-English like mongena emakevini ubabone vele babadrowile babona mani la bane uzedi so.
Yeah.
Mara mongena lapha bazothi ama-Egyptian. And the molandile history, those are not South Africa, those are Africans.
Yeah, no, they take amangamla. Their biggest advantage is they take everything and they name it their own. I mean, South Africa yini. South Africa is south of Africa. Zaid Africa. They named this place after taking it.
By the colonizer.
It's a colonizer. South Africa is the south. It's a geographic location. It's not even a country. Right? Because they wanted to find where geography is. They arrived here. Then they said, we are in the south of Africa. Just name it. South Africa. Yeah. So what they do, they take their name and then they own. That is the modus operandi across. Even our knowledge production, knowledge systems were taken and renamed. Even the Bible. Yeah, the Bible was, original concept was taken from Africa. They took it, they doctored it to serve their interest. But the original ideas are from Africa.
Because what I know about the Bible is the real Bible. Bebabhala izinto vele bezenzeke emhlabeni like ukuqala ukubona starlight nyabhala ukuthi yo ngeke ngabona a shooting star ngawisha into ayenzeka. Like izinto bezenza abantu abamnyama ezingakabonakala. Manje mangathi uyabheka iBhayibheli now it's less proverbs and more stories.
Yeah, no, they edited the whole thing. They created it to serve their interest, to justify colonialism. They brought it here. Pella, when before they colonize you, they make you a Christian. You stop your black gods, you now praying to the white god. Then they bring their marines or their army, they finish you.
Even school.
Yeah, there are three things they do, maybe figure colonize. They build a school, they build a church, they build a prison and a court. Lezo zinto lezo. I-prison ne-court, laba bangafuna ukuba ama-Christian, bafakwa la. Isikolo, ukunitshintsha imiqondo yenu, ukuthi nicabanga njengabo. Then they finish, done.
Yo, so basically they make the law.
Yeah.
Because those four things are law.
Yeah, that's exactly. They make the law and they change your culture through changing your religious belief. In the Xhosa speaking area, kunibizwa amaqobhoka namaqaba. Amaqobhoka yilabo aba accepta i-white Christianity. Amaqaba yilabo abathi thina singeni leyo nto leyo. But they use amaqobhoka to attack amaqaba and to destroy the whole system of black rule, black thought, black belief, and so on.
Because it's funny how they use the term IQ. You know the term IQ? If your IQ is not high, you are dumb. There are kids who don't understand academics, but that kid is smart. Like he can do something on the phone like the academic. There's something you call academics, where they say, this one is academical smart. There's someone who's not academical smart, but he isn't zenze.
No, but the IQ system is racist. It is based on a white template. Mangalithatha intwana engamla sifake elokishini sibuze impilo yaselokishini ngekwazi ukanswer those questions. But they take our children and make them answer questions about white life, white knowledge systems. And then if they can't answer, kuthiwa no, udom.
End up at prison, end up at the drugs. And how got dom? Just that you're not academical smart. You can do something out of your life. In fact, kona abantwana abantswembu ngezandla. Kona emfethu yo manje bakhona ababhaya. But then because isikole libatsho dom, untwana uye ama-drugs.
No, that is true. Our education system is made to make you a slave. If your own thinking evolution is one of independence, then you are being discarded from the system.
Yes.
Those who are willing to become enslaved easily, those who want to excel in the education system.
Yeah.
Because they accept whatever the system provides.
Yeah.
Those who are resisting, you'll be out and you will not get a job. You will suffer for the rest of your life. The education system is one of the disciplining mechanisms to make sure that you become a servant of the system. Uzoba lawyer, enkantolo, uyenze sure abantu abadaki baye ejele, because that's what you do.
Yes.
I mean, abantu basebenza enkantolo bonke, judges to lawyers to prosecutors. At the end of the day, they make sure facilitate black people to go to jail.
Yeah. So we need to change our way of teaching and teach our kids what we want them to know. Because le ndaba leyo ukuthi silandele incwadi yafana namanje ulwela ukuthi umuntu omnyama azi isiko lakhe, azi agriculture. Makafika esikoleni bazothi ayikho lento leyo wena. Wazi ukuthi impukane emandizi uzwenza ngempukane man.
Yeah, no, our education system is irrelevant. Because it's preparing us, as we said, to become servants of the system. You become a manager or you become an accountant. You're counting mali kamlungu.
How?
Not your money, not your people's money, not system to make sure money goes to black people. You become an economist. Uzokhuluma ukuthi economic crisis is when white people are in a crisis. It's an economic crisis for everyone. You're thinking, the education system, as I say, they bring the church, through the church they bring the education system, and then they bring the police and the courts to create a docile black person. Manga ungafuna ukulalela umthetho uzongena enkingeni, uzobandita, uzoba excluded economically. So that is the white system. It was how it was before, it is how it is today.
Ne, because nakhona kusesele isikhathi esincane futhi sikhulume ngeOrania ne. Yes, that again vele.
Yeah, Orania mangamla athenga umhlaba laphana. A creator and their own community. where by exclude abotaki. They even have their own currency. They have their own banks. They live their own lives in that enclave, which is a racist enclave, which should not have been allowed in South Africa. But ke mangamla so orania. Aphilise ngamla exclude abotaki, and of course that economy apparently is growing and so on and so forth. But I believe a lot of money come from outside of South Africa into that economy. Abangamla bayaba subsidize, abayenza sure ukuthi babe successful through exploiting ama resources wethu in South Africa and black labor, and indirectly supporting that process to become successful. I believe into zibofana nabo AfriForum, abo Freedom Front Plus support Orania to make sure that it is successful. Even the Africana Business Group, AfriSake, I believe it pumping money into that economy to serve their people, because the Afrikaners, they always put the Afrikaner first. That is why they created apartheid, to exclude us so that they can serve their interests, to creating a fake majority which make laws to serve the interests of the Afrikaners.
Because the question of
Karel Boshoff. There's a white racist, Karel Boshoff's father, I think, is the one who bought the land for this experiment.
Yeah.
Because they wanted democracy and they didn't want to be under black rule.
Yeah.
And they ran away. Of course, Orania is protected by the Constitution. Section, I think, 235.
Yeah.
It speaks about autonomy. So, amabhunu ukuthi angene kuma elections in 1994 aba nesivumelano sasayina uMbeki, where the Constitution had to recognize their right to a homeland inside South Africa. So it is in the Constitution, it's protected. Orania is protected by our Constitution to say white people can have a white enclave in South Africa. That was part of the negotiated settlement.
But why bafuna lento le? Because ngifila ngathi kusazophila apartheid angiphele vela. Why bafuna ukwenza lento le?
No, I mean, am I extremist? Apartheid is there in South Africa everywhere, because even now we in the township amangamla kuma Orania wabo, Masanteni, so in such and such areas. But these one are extremists. They wanted to be on their own. And that is why they use that clause in the Constitution that allows white people to create their own Boer state. I mean, that's why now they are campaigning to make the whole of the Western Cape into a Boer state, which will be another enclave of white people where we as black people are not allowed. I believe Baseben's Constitution to create apartheid because our Constitution allows for that. And it is also shows that abelungu abasifuni vele.
Angeke bahlale isegazini labo lento le.
Yeah. So but the sad thing is that our Constitution allows them to practice apartheid and racism like that.
Yes. So angicela ukubuza, if iBRICS yaphasa izosebenza kanjani because Orania ine currency yayo?
No, we see Orania is too small. We will simply suffocate it. That's what we will do. We'll suffocate it out of existence. We will say South Africa must not trade with Orania. Our goods must not go into Orania. It will take just 1 week. That thing will collapse.
So umdlalo lento le bayenzayo Orania ne?
Umdlalo vele.
Hayi so khona manje la maye sesiringela izinto ezibhaya yabona manje akaseli how many minutes bengifuna sivale ngeBFlf. Sivale ngeSoweto siye deeper but iBFlf singayishali yabo deeper wayiqala nini wayiqalelani yayibona because so shilo ukuthi ufuna ukuachieve yabona ngapha uphumele kwiFF bocaba ukuphuma kwiFF uzoba kule position uzoba kuya manje ngeBFlf.
Well, it was a very difficult decision. I didn't want to do it, but my comrade said we must do it. We have created a brand which is fairly known. It's not sufficiently known because we have positioned ourselves against serious powers, and those powers are marginalizing us, are making sure that we are not known. They're making sure that we are starved of funds, make sure that we are deplatformed and so on.
Yes, sir.
You know that TPLF was even kicked out of elections. Yes.
Why?
Were deregistered. Amangamla, I court, a TPLF must be kicked out of elections because if Freedom Front Plus, see in South Africa we have Black First, Land First and Freedom Front Plus that represent two solid ideologies. Tinasi represent the black agenda but represent the white agenda. And so they took us to court to ask the court to exclude us, and the court excluded us in the 2019 elections. But saya amend the constitution science be vague because initially our constitution was very clear that it is for blacks only. And then in South Africa you can't have a blacks only organization. But a whites only group, Freedom Front Plus, was able to take us to court to ask the court to deregister us because we're a blacks only organization. And the court said, yes, we must be deregistered. But if you go look at the Freedom Front Plus now, its entire leadership is white. Its agenda is white. But it doesn't want black people to organize on the basis of blackness. Because bafuna ukuhlala bengenelela ezintweni zabodaki bekwazi ukuzicontrol. So we then had to amend our constitution to vaguely say that if you believe land was stolen from black people, then you are allowed as a member. Technically, abelungu can claim to become members, Bflf, but sizobaxosha thina.
So BLF does not partnership nabelungu ayibafuni nalabanyathelo khona. Hleke ingamla incanya wena ne.
Ingamla Jo silapha nje ngenxa yengamla. Ingamla isimoshe kakhulu. Abodaki sisenkingeni kanje today. Siyabulalana, siyalamba. Kune violence lahlala khona. Everything is not right because Amangamla sithole la siphila relatively well, but they took our land, turned us into slaves. Today silwa namakorakora because of umsebenzi. Amangamla turned us into workers instead of being owners, which we were at the beginning. Today we are fighting for worker rights, the thing that they have created us into becoming. Because to able to eat, you must work. Work for whom? For the white man. So the whole South African society is unjust, and that is injustice is created by the white system, by the white man. And that is why I'm so adamant that we must defeat the white system if we want to change our lives.
So uthini umuntu omnyama oshade nengamla uthini yengamla lela bodaki yona phela ayikuthi bonke bayafana
bonke bayabenefit. Lo mangambheko silwelayo but they always get benefits. Bheka, take an example. Here Evalon, Slovo is buried there. Slovo is the only one on a plaque ebekwe phezulu ebhalwe igama lakhe. Here lies Slovo and others who fought for liberation. Not far from there, Kutieti Machine no Khotosi Ahlulu. They don't have big plaques that recognize them by name. So Slovo did not ask to be recognized like that against black people, but his whiteness makes sure that he is recognized like that. So Amangamla, when they join Mzabala Zobotaki, they still benefit through recognition of wonke Amangamla abekum Zabalazo anencwadi anama foundation, they are remembered. But Abotaki who died for their liberation are not. So you can see the white system perpetuate itself even in the struggle.
Because when any question for any coalitions,
a coalition is what is going to happen if the ANC doesn't get 50 plus 1%. Because of a coalition government, just like how EDA has become ruled in some of the metros through coalition governments. Which would be party ayahlangana ayakoluda ayenza coalition. So amaphathi amaningi ayahlangana to give each other political power. So if the ANC does not get 51% in the next elections, kuzoba nohulumeni we-coalition. La khona i-DA ingakwazi ukuba i-president, banikeza uJulius i-deputy president, bese beyarule South Africa.
So when umabhili ngasebenza lento leyo?
Iyosebenzela amangamla. I-project yamangamla. Amangamla ayayiqeda i-ANC because even if we say the ANC is captured, it is the only biggest institution econtrolwa abodaki. But bayayiqeda manje bafuna iphele i-ANC nayo, because if it is there, it can be captured by somebody who's revolutionary and then can be used to change the situation in Sabotaki. Just like Uzuma, if Uzuma captured the ANC in that Nazareth conference, he would have used it as a weapon to address our issues. So the ANC has a big bloc like that. It's a threat to white people. That is why mele by cut. Kugcina abantu babanyama party amaningi.
Hey, and baningi. Oh.
Yeah. And then amangam lots of party are few. So by block, even if they are only 30% of the vote, because by a vote, a Futina's vote. And so bongamangama vote, they'll make 30%, 25%, 30%. And then batatama black political parties, Abu Mashaba, Abu Musimaimani, Inkatha Freedom Party, Lama Party agree on the white agenda. Bahlanganisi, bayenza government wabelungu.
Yes, so yeah, before sivala ngicela ukubuza umbuzo wani obalulekile. Njengoba sivota kanje, siyavota rusuye kwaziwa ukuthi ipresident kuzoba ubani.
Mostly, but this time around, there's a chance that a president can come from the DA, as I say, through a coalition with all these other parties. So it is not a foregone conclusion. But if the ANC get 51% of the vote again, the president will come from the ANC. But I think we are going for a situation where ANC get ulwa.
Yes, that's what more pay kuzobina.
Ngekuwine one party azohlanganisa amavote wabo after bangenile bese bayenza coalition bese banikeza iDA presidency uJulius athathe deputy
president. Le out is Islam. Sibonile ukuthi complaina kakhulu ngeANC. Bayabahlanganisa ukuthi kungasakhala. Mana kusase yibo still.
Yeah, you see, the agenda is the same agenda. It's like the example I always make. It's like we are in a big ship, right? Same combine song. Then abantu abadriver umkhombi the ship abantu ama-sellouts abasisi kule direction isifuna ukuya kuyo manje siyabona sonke ukuthi no man, after 30 years no man, this thing is not going where we want to go. The people who control, who bought those leaders of ours who are misleading us, they then provide smaller boats. Tina cities, we are jumping out of the big boat. We're jumping into the smaller boats. They're going to the same direction because they are owned by the same people.
Is this label?
For real. Because you say you are abandoning this thing because akusebenzeli. Leo champela kuyo. Yeah.
Yes,
that is the system right now.
Yeah. So why must we vote for you to be president?
Because I think that I can change South Africa. And I will unapologetically put black people first. This country belongs to us. We must come first. And as I say, not a single black person must be poor in this country because we have that much wealth to make sure that all of us are well taken care of.
So, Bflf, uyibekile indaba yakhe Bflf. Black land first.
Black first, land first.
Ay.
Black first, land first.
Uyayifuna le land ne.
Yeah.
Ungakhohle ukufundisa intwana encane agriculture. Ngicela uqhubeke uyiphusha kanjalo. Sizokulandela, yabo. Ivote yami seyitholile, yabo first vote akufani before kufika ama elections isenkhona. So uzosiprovide imisebenzi. Ngicela ufune ukukhuluma la uzongaziyenzi. Mase kuvotela imisebenzi soyithola.
Yebo.
Health environment.
Yes.
Police services are proper.
Yes, and well paid also.
Well paid, ne?
Yeah, well trained and well paid.
Ne, educational system is over proper.
Yes, it must be a functioning education. Our teacher also must be well trained, also well paid, because sometimes our teacher are alcoholic because they can't even afford their house because of the amount of money they pay. Just like our nurses, they must be well paid, well taken care of.
Ne, so Khotman mina bengicela mobile president ne kunama Soweto towers. Bengicela ugenerate electricity ethe Soweto ne because lama tower ahleli lapha amanzi azayangcola. Kuze kunesquatter camp lapho. So sinendawo la singayenza khona ugesi eziSoweto. So
no, there must be a serious investigation even before that, even before we go into power, to look into whether that power station can be recommissioned. That's something that I will do. I will start investigating what are the possibilities of recommissioning that so that it provides power.
We have our own power plant in Soweto. We don't need the ESCOM or Zinayo.
Yes.
So Moshalo project in Hamba now. So bafethu elections on the way. Athi mina ngishaya kanje ngiphume kanqono melami. Siyabonga ukuthi uzile ku Kota and Chill, yabo. But abantu don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below. Sizabona lenye politician ngelanga liza Kutlwano. That's why I say Alex Ntariyana. That's why I say Alex.